Welcome back, everyone, as we continue our playthrough on Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. If you have not seen the campaign up to this point, there's a link in the description that will take you back to the beginning. We're going to finally complete 1899 as we get into December of 1899. The war against the Soviet Union continues. This time we have suffered a number of losses, but again, inflicted far heavier. We just inflicted 1 million casualties on the Soviet army in their offensive against Prussia, at a loss of 122,000 for us. Now Germany has initiated a major offensive from western Poland against eastern Poland. Hopefully we don't end up in a negotiated settlement before we can take some of that territory. That's what I always worry about. All right, so here's 3 heavy cruisers going up against a battleship, guarding some transports. I think this is the kind of battle I'll probably run away from. We learned in the last episode what happens when we try to take on a heavy battleship with some of our heavy cruisers, and it didn't go well. Well, there it is. Peace has been signed between the German Empire and the Soviet Union, just as our army had gone on the offensive. But what can we take is the question. We get 1.3 billion in reparations, which does allow us to take some decent territory. Now, the last time I did this, it didn't give me what I asked for. I don't really want any of his ships. I can always build more ships. What can I take? And it looks like all the territories that are available to me are ones that are over in Central Asia and not really that appealing. So I'm feeling more like, the problem is I don't have enough to be able to take northern and southern Finland. So how about southern Finland? But then that means we can't take anything else. How about we take northern Finland? Nah, darn it. I'm not crazy about this at all. That'd be the only territory I would be able to take in that situation. But that's the one that makes the most sense for me in terms of what it allows me to do moving forward. So I guess then we take a bunch of his navy. Which I'm just going to turn around and scrap, but hey. We're basically going to take his entire navy. But that will weaken him moving forward, which is what I want, so that's fine. Yeah, you know what? We'll leave a few things. We'll propose that. Okay, they're giving us southern Finland. They're giving us a bunch of ships and some money. Okay, very cool. We'll take that. Probably should have just taken the money to begin with. So there's southern Finland. It's now German. 1.7, almost 1.8 million people. And doesn't produce any oil, so that doesn't really help us too much. Northern Finland wouldn't have either. Maybe I should have taken some of those territories over here that, none of those really produce oil either. So I guess that wouldn't have really helped us any. But we did gain some territory, so I guess it's better than nothing. Now let's go in and look at our fleet and look at the ships that we're going to scrap, like immediately, while we're building some new ones. There's one of them there. We don't have any crew on some of these either, so honestly, just bye-bye. And I'll do that for all of these. So the Soviet Union now has a fleet consisting of 5 light cruisers and a torpedo boat. They are building 22, but their total tonnage is a little under 11,000 tons now. I didn't scrap all of the ships. I kept a battleship and a couple of heavy cruisers, just as souvenirs. I did go ahead and scrap the Spanish battleships now because my fleet's going to get too expensive if I keep all the ships that I was taking. So right now we have 13 battleships, 6 heavy cruisers, 14 light cruisers. We have a great amount of naval prestige, 438. We're going to need to build up our heavy cruiser fleet and maybe some more light cruisers just to kind of balance things out a little bit. Where are we at on our finances? Monthly balance minus 108 million. That is not going to fly. So we're going to have to make some tough decisions now about the size of our fleet, for example. We're going to need to bring them all back in. We're going to probably need to start setting some of these to go from sea control to in being or limited, and that'll cut down. I'll just show you an example of this. Oldenburg, when they're in being, they're going to cost $1 million a month. In sea control, it's a little bit more than that, so it doesn't save a ton of money, we may need to think about going down to limited. That's only available during peacetime, but crew training gets hurt when we do that. So, but it does save a lot because Bismarck, for example, costs $3 million a month to operate. So going to limited cuts that down to $1 million. That saves us a ton of money. So the ones we're currently building, that's where the cost is. Almost $7 million a month for each of the ships that we're building. Once you get past the battleships that are being built, the cost goes down substantially. Jane Lu is still costing us $4 million because it's at sea. So we need to bring in those ships that are at sea, bring them back to port. We need to get some construction done and repairs done anyway. So that'll save us on some costs. So we're now into May of 1900. We are still building 4 battleships, 2 heavy cruisers, and 4 light cruisers. But you can start to see our active fleet of 36 ships. It'll be 46. And at that point, I think we can start thinking about, and actually we're at peace right now, so maybe now's the time, scrapping our 3 oldest battleships, which are getting older in technology and honestly are just costing us money that we don't need to be spending right now. And then eventually we're going to replace the Jane Lu, the Hildebrand, the Bismarck, but we're not quite there yet. Just looking then at the situation, our monthly balance then goes down to about $45 million that we're losing, and that'll go down further once we complete some more of these ships. Politics, let's take a look at that for a second. Look at our situation. We are at 56% on the naval power rating, and basically what that means is whoever has the most powerful navy is 100%, in this case the British, and then everybody else is ranked below that. And so I'm at a little more than half of the power of the British Navy, who I don't really want to go toe-to-toe with anyway. We're showing as advanced technology. The British are very advanced. Nobody else is advanced at the moment except for the Japanese. So at least in terms of tech, we're doing okay. Thinking about who we might go to war with next, I'm thinking maybe the French. Let's take a look and see where they are. That would be one of the big boys, 130 ships. They're at 95% of the British rating, so they're pretty darn close to them. But I'm hoping we can make up for that with technology. But the main thing is, of course, we border them, so it's a chance to maybe take some territory like Alsace and Lorraine, which actually should be currently a part of Germany in May of 1900, even though it's not showing that way on this map. Oh baby, this is a game changer. The Dreadnought hull design is 3 months away. That's one we've been waiting on. This is going to completely revolutionize the kind of battleships we're able to build, and it's going to instantly make all of our other battleships obsolete. War erupted between France and Italy. That actually makes it better for us if we end up going to war with France. But honestly, now that I know that we're that close to having the Dreadnoughts, everything else seems unimportant. Well, this isn't what I was hoping for. Empire of Japan sent us an ultimatum demanding to withdraw our fleet that is operating near their borders. I don't think we have much operating near their borders, but I'm at the place now where I can't afford the reduction in naval funds that would come with choosing a different option. So I think we're going to have to choose war here. There's the Dreadnought hull design. I don't think we're going to have to deal with too much in terms of actual fighting here. Just looking at Japan over there. I mean, we have this one port, Shingao, and we do have, that's where our Russian battleship and the Wittelsbach are. So those are really the only ones that are going to be in any danger of fighting at the moment. But let's go ahead now and look at ship design, because this is a game changer. You can see why. There's the Dreadnought hull design. It's flat, it's big, it allows us to do pretty much whatever the heck we want. So what I'm going to do is I didn't mean to actually go to the Jane Lu class, but you can just see the difference, right? Look at what we're going to be replacing. So we're going to delete the Jane Lu class because we're going to build some new battleships, and Jane Lu being our oldest patron ship that we have, that's going to be the lead ship in our new class of Dreadnoughts. So a lot we're able to do now. We can go all the way up to 22,500 tons of displacement. That's our max right now. Our shipyard allows us to go up into the 30s, but that's not what's going to happen with this. We need at least, I think, 20 knots of speed. I'm going to reduce the range a little bit. But let's look at what's available. We still only have coal for fuel. We can go all the way up to Harvey armor. Anti-torpedo, I think, is going to be a must. We do have anti-flooding now as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the towers. We've got up to 4-deck tower 4. And we may end up moving this stuff around because I really want to put at least 2 guns up front, or 2 turrets up front. It's going to depend on how many funnels we need to put in this thing. Need to drop that back a little bit. So we're good on engine efficiency so far. We do have barbettes available to us as well, so that is huge. I think standard superimposed barbettes probably what we're going to want here. We can go up to 13-inch guns. These are Mark IIs. There we go. Oh, that's lovely. Now that is a battleship, folks. That is what it should look like. You can see why this is a game changer. Look at all these spots we're going to have to be able to do casemate guns. And I think we'll go maybe like, those are Mark 1s. Do we have Mark 2s? We have 4-inch Mark 2s. So let's go with 4s because these are going to help us with some of the smaller ships. We're going to throw a ton of those on there because they really don't add much in terms of weight. This thing's going to be super expensive to build, though. But it's going to be totally worth it. We're just not going to build a lot of them. I'm not going to do torpedo tubes on this thing. We could do some secondaries on the side as well, like some 8-inch secondaries, like right there. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, that's beautiful. And it's got good range on all sides there. The pitch and roll are going to be good, especially once we adjust some things. Oh, I love this ship so much already. So here's where we're at. We've gotten it up to 22 knots of speed. Put the crew quarters up to standard. We've added the barbettes. I had forgotten to do that as well. We're at 10 inches of main belt armor. Another 3 inches of fore belt and 3.5 inches of aft belt. 3.5 inches on the deck. I'm going to go up to 4 inches on the deck just to be safe. Superstructure, let's go up to 1 inch. Everything looks really good right now. Pretty happy with all of that. I tried to look to see if we could put another turret on the back, but we can't put another superimposed barbette like the one we have on the front. So we're going to go with what we've got. It's still really good. I'm happy with that. Maybe we do a little bit more. We could actually go higher on the gun caliber. That's going to add to the weight, but it might also add to accuracy and things of that nature. Right now we're at 40% at 1,000 meters. It drops to 8% at 5,000. If we drop the caliber of the guns back to 13, what's that do? It's slightly less accurate, but I think the difference in weight kind of makes it really not worth it. I might add a little bit more armor, maybe to the turrets themselves. Now they've got 10.5 inches. That's pretty decent already. You know what? I might just go with what we've got instead of just trying to max out the weight even further. All right, let's save it. This is going to be super expensive to build at a time when I don't have a lot of extra money lying around. But I can't pass up. I've got to build at least 2 of these things to get started. It's probably going to take 1.5 years to get them built anyway. We'll just have to scrap some of our other battleships. So let's see. Yeah, it's going to cost a lot to build these things. Honestly, that's not that bad, I guess. It's going to max out our shipbuilding capacity. 83,000 tons is not too bad. We can go up to 130,000. Let's go back to the fleet. Since we're building a new Jane Lou, we're going to go ahead and scrap that one. I'm also going to go ahead and scrap this other, I think that's one of the other Spanish ships that I had. How long is it going to take to build these? 18 months on these new ones, but totally worth it. They're all going to have to go in our main ports. We kind of figured that already, so not a huge deal. All right, well, this isn't how I wanted all this to go down, because I really can't afford to give up 142 million in naval funds to keep from going to war with France. So war with France it is. France is occupied with Italy at the moment, so that's going to help. But man, I really, really, really want to get those Dreadnoughts going so that we can get them going against France. But we're not going to have them for another 17 months. I'm really not too worried about Japan at the moment. So I think we're going to kind of sit tight with everybody in port, at least for a little while, until we feel more ready to go on the offensive against France. France initiates a major offensive from the province of northern France against the German Empire in southern Germany. That'll be interesting. They're actually invading us while the Italians are invading southern France. So what are we dealing with? 772,000 in our army against his 445,000. Seems not great for him. We're going to have a battle off the coast of Ireland against the French. It's one heavy cruiser versus one heavy cruiser. It's the Scharnhorst versus the Shanxi. Let's do it. Okay, so we are in our one-on-one duel. We only have 6-inch guns on the Scharnhorst, so not exactly dealing with heavy weapons, but we shouldn't need them. Once we identify him, we should have a better idea of what we're facing. But we've got 21.5 knots of speed, we've got almost 9 inches of armor, and we're 6,000 tons, so we're definitely bigger than him. And I'm going to try to head toward him for as long as I can. Alright, he appears to have bigger guns than I do. I guess actually, if we look at our log, we might see if we've been... Now we haven't been hit yet, so we can't see what the caliber is. But our identification's nearly there. Go ahead and slow down the speed now. We don't want to get too close. I'm going to slow down for the sake of accuracy. Alright, he just hit me with something. 4.2 inch guns. Interesting. Alright, so he has 7.5 inch guns. Ooh boy. Definitely has better caliber than I do. He's also got 10 inches of armor, so I think we might be outclassed here. I might need to think about calling this one off. Not entirely sure. Our odds are great. Unless we get lucky and land a good hit, but right now you can see all of our shots are just bouncing off. His armor is... Oh boy! Oh, see, that's what I was afraid of. He just landed a big hit on me. Yeah, let's get out of here. This is not a favorable engagement for us. Hopefully we can get out before any more damage happens. Scharnhorst is going to be a good ship against light cruisers and torpedo boats and things like that, but they're not going to go toe-to-toe with a ship like the Shanxi. Although we did just land a nice... Oh, a big hit with a flash fire! Oh, maybe I should rethink this. We found a weak spot. We blew up some of his ammunition. You can see he just lost a bunch of his ammunition because some of that stuff exploded. And the flooding, if it spreads, might be enough to sink the ship. Even as we're running, we might have landed a lucky shot that sinks him. Alright, it is spreading. I think we got him. I think that was a kill shot. Wow, it is. Unless his pumps get working real quick. Wow! Oh, all I had to do was turn around and run away. And we won. There's our first big victory of this new war. So here's some new tech. We can go up to 8,500 tons of displacement on our heavy cruisers now. I want to take a look at our existing fleet and see how that compares to the heavy cruisers we currently have. So you can see here, our heavy cruisers are down 5,300, 4,000, 6,000. The biggest heavy cruiser we have right now is one of our most recent, which is a 7,400 ton Athena. So we can go much bigger than that. So it's, I think, a good time to think about phasing out like the Michelle and the Limburg. So those will be the next two that go. So let's go ahead and go into our ship design, see what we can come up with. So here's what we came up with. We are going to have the 9-inch Mark II guns on this one, which use a lot more crew than an 8-inch. The 8-inch only uses 25 crew. 9-inch goes up to 75 crew. We did get away with medium funnels because the engine efficiency is still pretty good. Pitch and roll, just not a lot we can do with that no matter what we do. But we're gonna have a total of 4 9-inch guns, and then we also have on each side we have 6 of the 5-inch guns, a total of 12 of those. So also put some torpedo tubes or some 16-inch torpedoes on this thing, so it'll definitely be a nice upgrade from some of the ones that we're currently dealing with, like the one that we just used in that last battle. All right, I really don't need this, but I've got a major decision to make here. I can't go to war with the British. I can't handle the French, the Japanese, and the British all at the same time. But the alternative is that we spend $248 million of our naval funds in order to keep that from happening. But unfortunately, I just don't have a choice. So, crazy amount of money spent. We're down to just $69 million in naval funds now. But thankfully, we're still working from a positive because we're at war. The funds go up, so that's helping us see how things are going with the war on land. French have lost 170,000. We've lost just 60,000. We're obviously doing all right there, but we are going to have to put some pressure on them with the Navy at some point. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Either choice I make destroys me financially. I can use strong police to disperse the crowd. I'm still going to lose 123 million. That basically bankrupts me. I'm at minus 67 million now, and I had over $1 billion not so long ago, and I have a monthly balance of minus 11 million. So something's got to give here. I mean, we can't obviously do that. Where's the cost right now coming from? It's coming from building these new battleships. Oh, I mean, that's absolutely brutal, but I don't know what else I can do except hold off. So we can suspend. We'll suspend building the heavy cruisers for the time being, including the Kent II, which I just renamed. What else can we do here? Suspend building one of the new ones. I'd hate to do that, but don't have much of a choice. What's that put me at financially? I mean, I can also completely cut back on everything I'm investing. And that puts me at plus 432 million. Okay. So that might be, we're going to keep the tech budget going. We can cut way back on crew training because we've got a nice big crew pool. We can keep transports balanced. And where's that put us? Plus 96 million. Okay. Actually, in that case, maybe we don't need to suspend the building projects. We've actually got a light cruiser, a new Lusitania that's being built as well. So, all right, we're still at plus 77, so we'll be okay. Looks like we just conquered Upper Volta. Only lost 2,700 men in doing that. We initiated a major offensive operation from Upper Volta against Niger. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we're doing in Africa right now, because we just took Upper Volta, which is right here. And now we're going against Niger. So I don't know what that has to offer us. No oil. 1.4 million in population. There's an income to be had there. So obviously that helps our coffers, just as Upper Volta did. So every little bit helps. We can't control any of that, so we can't tell the army where to invade, things like that. The French invasion of southern Germany is not going well for them. They've lost 334,000 to our 90,000 losses. So I like how that's going. I did send a fleet over here to Le Havre in the Normandy area, and they're almost there, and hopefully we'll get some combat going, and we can inflict a nice bit of damage on the French fleet. Just want to look at finances for a minute, because I think we can start ramping up our crew training again and still keep a positive balance. We also are not fully using our shipbuilding capacity, which tells me only one thing. Time to build another battleship, another Dreadnought. So let's go ahead and into our ship design, go to our Jane Lew class, And we're going to build another one. Awesome. Now we've started another major offensive against Togoland from Dahomey. Zambia's new leader is considered a threat for the German Empire. All right, so a lot of action going on down in Africa right now. How are things on this border? Still pretty good. How are they doing against the Italians? That's actually pretty even. The army defending is very small. The Italians have 1.5 million men invading against a French defensive force of 14,000. They're going to lose southern France sooner rather than later. What's this French force here? 3 torpedo boats. That's it. How are we doing on our new ships? I cannot wait to take these things out for a spin. We're still 8 months away. German Empire pushed back France's offensive in the province of southern Germany. French lost 500,000 men. We lost 137,000. That could not have gone better for the army. Meanwhile, now France is doing it again. They're doing the exact same attack that they already did. This time with more men, and I've got still an equal number defending. How did Italy not conquer southern France? Man, I don't understand that at all. And why are we not being able to take on a fleet of his? It looks like he's mainly just got torpedo boats in the area. Where's his real fleet? The Japanese have some battleships coming this way. All right. They've actually got a torpedo boat there, so we might be dealing with the Japanese here before long. I'm actually going to make sure these guys are moved out into the English Channel and just kind of patrol that area there. Fleet. 5 months to go. Oh, I'm desperate to get these things out there, and then they're going to have, of course, some time before they're commissioned. Okay, this is how we're going to wrap this episode up. We have a Japanese fleet that has shown up. We have 3 battleships and 3 heavy cruisers going up against 2 battleships, 2 heavy cruisers, and an assortment of light cruisers and torpedo boats. I feel good about this, though it's important to remember the Japanese do have good tech. They, along with us, are in the advanced category, whereas the British are very advanced. But these are smaller battleships than the 2 that I bring to the table, so let's see how it goes. So we're just now spotting the enemy. We can see smoke already on the horizon there, so that tells me that his escorts are probably on that side. So I'm going to go ahead and start sending my 3 heavy cruisers, which are the Michel, the Elster, and the Limburg, in that direction. We've got 8-inch guns on the Michel, 6-inch guns and 4s and 3s on the Elster, 8, 4, and 3 on the Limburg. So the front and back are the same class. Send our 3 battleships this way and hopefully draw his big ships this direction as well. We can see them coming this way. Hopefully this will be one of our last battles with the old pre-Dreadnought battleships. And then we'll start bringing out the big boys. I have 11-inch guns on the lead ship and then 12s on these other 2. Although the Aguirre is heavily armored compared to the other 2. So it's good to have her in the lead. Alright, we want to be careful here because it looks like his battleships are actually firing on my heavy cruisers at the moment. We're going to go real time, at least for a little while here. We've got a lot of ships coming this way. We need to be careful. I don't have any torpedoes, but honestly, at this stage of the game, torpedoes aren't that much use to me, unless we're at super close range. As time goes on and we get the nice big torpedo sets. Oh, wow! Oh, that was a torpedo boat. Okay, we just must have nailed it with a big gun. Once we get those big spreads of like 4 and 5 torpedoes at one time, then we can start firing them a little more from a distance when we have that kind of range. I want to get these guys in a tighter formation. Alright, he's got 10.5-inch guns, almost 14 inches of armor. At least on that ship. We're starting to get a pretty good glimpse of his whole fleet now. Alright, let's start firing on this light cruiser. What's his torpedo range? Now if we click on... it's only not even a kilometer. Alright, we're well out of range of the torpedoes. Interesting, we're not making a lot of headway. Oh, there's some damage. 10 inches of armor on a light cruiser. Interesting. So we sank another torpedo boat, and we just landed a pretty good hit on the Shinsoku. Flooding in 4 compartments. I don't know what kind of... oh, he's got many bulkheads, so it's unlikely that flooding is going to spread to the rest of the ship in any significant way. So we're going to just need to hopefully quickly land a couple of hits on some of those other compartments and cause some flooding. Alright, we're still dealing with this huge mass of escort ships, light cruisers, torpedo boats. We've sunk 2 torpedo boats so far, but that's about it. I wish we wouldn't try to shoot at ships that are so dang far away there. All of our firepower right now is on the Shinsoku. Those 4 compartments flooded big time, and he doesn't seem to be getting on top of it, but we need to land some more penetration and maybe 2 more compartments if we want to get him sunk. Let's see if we get lucky here. There we go. That was partial pen. Didn't cause any flooding though. That was over pen. There! Oh, that was a beautiful bit of damage. That wasn't flooding, that was just brute force there. So we're at 50% accuracy, that's pretty dang good. And now his other battleships are right behind it, so even if we miss, we might overshoot and hit the other one. How are we doing over here? Let's get a look at things. We're going to have to start swinging around on them. Same here. Come on, we need one more hit on the Shinsoku. Or just miss and hit the Yashima. Why are they firing over there? Oh, that was their secondaries. Alright, Agir, it's coming in. Just hold tight, buddy. Little collision going on there. Now we got another torpedo boat down. Shinsoku's in pretty bad shape, but I really want to finish them off. Come on, baby. Ah, that didn't do much. A little damage coming in on Agir now. They're taking some big time fires. Come on. Just can't seem to... Oh, there's the flooding. It's done. Every compartment flooded. Alright, let's go ahead and get everybody, all 3 battleships firing on the Yashima now, because Shinsoku's sinking. They just haven't acknowledged it yet. Alright, his escorts are starting to get away from us, though. That's a little bit of a concern, because they're starting to head toward the battleships. There goes Shinsoku. Alright, let's go up to double time now. See if we can take out this other battleship. So far, not doing a lot to the Yashima. We're just at a bad angle at the moment. So I don't think that's helping. I'm going to go ahead and switch targets to the heavy cruiser over here for now, because you see Yashima, just the angle that she's at, not good for us to land hits. We're going to bring our heavy cruisers around this way now, because most of his escorts are kind of in no man's land in the middle here. We have been taking some structural damage to the gear. You can see how many hits we're taking, but none of it's doing a lot of damage. It's all just kind of bouncing off the armor at the moment. This light cruiser is giving me fits. So we can't see him and he's hitting us. Alright, now they're starting to fire on the Yashima again. There we go. There's some hits. Oh, we got a flash fire. His front turret, back turret just went up. Both main turrets gone. And so is he. Boom. There goes the other battleship threat. Let's start swinging around this way. We do need to start firing our secondaries at this torpedo boat that's coming at me. Alright, I guess we're going to have to start swinging around this way. Let's be careful now because we're going to be firing at them from both sides. There we go. A couple of big hits on his heavy cruiser. The flooding is spreading. He does have a lot of bulkheads though, so it might not spread too much more. But if we hit him a few more times, that'll do it. Alright, let's start swinging the heavy cruisers around. Take out this other heavy cruiser of his, the Haku. Oh, everybody fire on that heavy cruiser. Till he's gone. Well, he's gone. Alright, now it's just cleanup work with the escorts, the light cruisers, and the torpedo boats. It's giving me the opportunity to end the battle now, but we're not going to do that. We want to try and clean up, at least on these 4 light cruisers that are still floating right in front of me. There goes one of them. We'll take out the other 3, and then we'll see what the total is. Zeroing in on the last 2 now. Got in a little closer than I wanted to with the heavy cruisers, but they're doing okay. Elster hasn't taken any damage. Michelle's taken a little bit, but nothing major. And now this poor light cruiser is facing the entire fleet. My goodness. What a nightmare for the crew on this ship. There it is. Alright. Another completely one-sided battle. There are a couple of ships that got away. Just some torpedo boats that I wasn't going to try to pursue. They could outrun me anyway. Significant victory against the Japanese. A country I didn't even want to be at war with. But that's the way it goes sometimes. So we'll wrap it up right there. We will come back with the next episode ready to unleash our dreadnoughts on the world. I cannot wait to start using those things. Oh, Japan wants to sign peace. I'd be okay with that. I guess we can probably auto-resolve this one. I don't know why, by the way, it's showing... Oh, we just lost Cameroon to the French. Central African Republic as well. I don't understand why it's showing that the French have 8,000 victory points, because I don't know... Like, we haven't fought any naval battles against them. We've taken some territory from them. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on there. Over here, they are marching on Gabon, but we're marching on Rhodesia. So, either way. But we'll come back tomorrow and see how that goes. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.